May I have your attention, please? All rise. March County Municipal Court is now in session. The Honorable John R. Capper presiding. All those having business before the court draw near and shall be heard. God bless the great state of Ohio and this honorable court. You may be seated.
Good morning. Today is June 26th. Welcome to the March County Municipal Court. Judge Capper. We have reviews for people who were in the court system before and have obligations to take care of. So we're going to call those. When your name's called, come up to the table to your right. I'm going to review your file, see what progress you're making. Call the reviews.
Jeremy Butcher, Heather Hutchinson, Jessica Leggett, Bryce McMillan, Ray Meredith, and Jason Taylor.
Jeremy Butcher is here, 19,483, 19,779, 18,1259. How are you, Mr. Butcher?
I'm doing pretty good.
We got a report from RRS. That's a good report. And you just have fines to pay off. So you've been making payments. Do you have a payment today?
Yes, $30.
Got it. You see the clerk. You've done really well. I'm proud of the progress you've made.
Thank you.
Keep it up. So let's get you another date. Come back. July 31st. Nine o'clock, July 31st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Your name, sir?
Bryce McMillan.
Bryce McMillan is 19,957. $19,944, $19,114. We got a report from New Life Recovery. So you're still participating in the recovery to work program. How's that
Yes, sir.
going?
Pretty well. They got moved my site to BC Tool Rental, so I got another 6 months on it.
Okay. Then you're wanting, as I understand, you're wanting to get licensed so you can work in the recovery field, is that right?
I'm working on that now, 40-hour course online.
Okay.
They offered me a grant, they would pay for it. I could have took the classes around here, but where I'm working, they said they just pay for the online one. So
And I see you paid off one of your cases. When did you do that?
I think 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Do you have anything to pay today?
25. I paid $186 since I last seen it.
All right. See the clerk and make your payment, and I'll set you for July 31st also. 9 o'clock. And you're doing really well too.
Thank you, Your Honor. See you then.
Ray Meredith has been called, did not appear. Has community service, it's not completed, so it'll be a bench warrant issue. Jason Taylor. Finished community service, still has fines and costs to pay. Hasn't appeared. There will be a warrant issue. Jessica Leggett hasn't done anything. Nothing at all. So there'll be a bench warrant for failure to appear. Heather Hutchison, who has community service and fines and costs to pay, hasn't appeared, was called for.
Your Honor, the date, she was ordered to be here on a certain day, and she was here on the day she was ordered to be here for community service.
All right. Well, she still has stuff to do. She hasn't completed, so you get a warrant for not appearing.
Melissa Weaver, Don Williford, Donald Dickus, Brandon Helton, and Whitney Morris.
Okay, Melissa Weaver's on teleconference.
Hello.
Good morning. Case number 16490 and 10251. You did make a payment today, and that's all you've got left to do is pay your fines and costs.
Okay,
July 31st will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
thank you.
Once you get this paid off, you can quit doing this.
Okay,
July 31st, 9 a.m.
thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You too. Don Williford, 213491. Is that Lawrence County Recovery? So you just went into the sober living facility.
Yes, sir. I did make a payment of $120 like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, well, it looks like there was a little setback since, because
Yes, sir, there
a month
was.
ago, I gave you a screen and it was all negative, and they're saying that you had a bad screen.
Yes, sir, I had a relapse, and I truly have let a lot of people down, and I let myself down, but I'm picking myself back up, and I want to do better. I lost a very dear friend of mine to cancer and all, and I had some setbacks, and I'm really trying to get back on the right path. They gave me time to take care of some things at home Friday, and I turned myself in Friday evening willingly. I'm in the best place I could be. I know that they only want what's good for me, and I'm glad that I have that support, because I got to the point that I thought I had nobody, and I was really depressed, and I'm sorry I let everybody down that's had faith in me. And I'm just glad that they still have faith and they love me and they want me there.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're in the right place then.
I am.
Some self-recognition too, that you have this issue and you're dealing with it, so that's good. That's a good first step.
If it wasn't for you all, and I'm being honest, and a lot of people don't come to you and say this, but I'm grateful to have the probation officers and the court system in Lawrence County, because without them, I could have wound up dead.
Well, unfortunately, we do lose people. We lost somebody just recently that's been in this court for a long time. It is sobering, and it's very serious. You know, what's going on in our community is, I mean, you realize it because you're involved in it, but a lot of people don't realize how serious it is. You know, I say, I've been doing this for over 30 years now. When I first started, we didn't face this. We didn't have these kinds of issues going on in our community. And now, I mean, it's life and death. I mean,
It is,
it's actually
and
life and death, and a lot of people, you know, if they make a mistake, that can be it. And we've lost too many people.
this right here has humbled me beyond what I can say in words. Just to know Friday when I went there, and they were all the care and the support and the love, I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that they opened the doors and that they all you know, they gave me a chance to hang myself to take my puppies and put them with somebody to take care for them. They gave me a chance to either turn myself in or keep running, and I chose to turn myself to where I know I needed help and where I can get help.
Okay, well, that's a great first step. What you're testing for is very prominent in our community and highly addictive and hard. It's hard. This takes work, and I'll just say this. What your experience is, I'm going to say it's not failure, it's determination and drive and grit. You got to keep, a lot of people don't make it because they don't try. At least you're trying.
I'm not giving up. I'm not willing to let this beat me. And I've got too many people in my corner that are fighting for me, that care about me, that I didn't think I really realized I had. I should have opened my mouth and asked for help when I got so depressed and things, and I didn't, and that's my fault.
Well, now you know the next time. I mean, we all have, life is a series of ups and downs. It's not always up. So you're going to have challenges, and the next time you have a challenge, then you turn to some of these resources that you develop that can help you get through the tough times.
Yes, sir. But I am glad, a lot of people won't say that, but I am glad for Melissa McLeod and probation. I'm glad for you guys, because you guys aren't really here to hurt us. You're here to help us, and a lot of people don't look at it that way. And I know that you guys are here for me, not against me.
Yeah, I want to see you be successful.
I want to be successful. The hardest thing was telling my daughter what had happened, and you know, my daughter, she's 30 years old. She's never done drugs or anything, and she told me, she said, "Mom, life is a choice." She said, "You have to make the right choices." She said, "We're here for you," you know. So now I just have to pick myself back up, dust myself off, and start doing the next right thing again.
You can do it. All right, I'll set your next hearing for July 24th,
Yes, sir.
9 a.m.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your effort. Donald Dickus. Is that Bethesda? There's a positive for oxycodone on here.
I have a prescription.
Okay. All right, do you have a payment on your fines?
No, not today. I'm on disability.
All right. So he's going to continue, you're not finished with Bethesda, you're continuing there?
I am participating.
I see that, and they say your participation level has improved over time, so that's good. July 31st will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay, Whitney Morris called in and says she could not be here today. I'll continue it. She's done, paid all her fines and done some of her community service, so I'll continue it at her request to July 3rd. At 9 a.m. Brandon Helton has been called for, 2318, hasn't appeared.
Your Honor, he didn't do the community service in the order to do.
Okay. And he still has a lot left to do. So it'll be a bench warrant issue for failure to appear. Okay, that finishes the reviews. We're going to start arraignments next. Arraignment is what the hearing is called for people who have new charges. If you think you should have been called for a review, go check in with the clerk's office. If you missed a review previously, you're going to get called with the arraignments. So when your name's called, come up to the table to the right. I'm going to go over the reason you're here. And if it's a misdemeanor, I'll ask you for a plea, which you can enter either not guilty, guilty, or no contest. Those are your choices. If it's a felony, you won't even be asked for a plea. You can't plead at the first hearing on a felony charge. Everyone who is in criminal court has certain rights, and I'll explain those to the group, and then I'll go over them again if you want me to, or if you have questions, I can address those individually. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to make statements. If you choose to make statements, it's all on the record, so whatever you say is going down, being recorded. It could be used against you. If you admit something that's the prosecutor thinks is valuable to their case, they can use that against you. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed. If you can't afford one and you're facing a jailable offense. You have a right to bail and to make the state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If you enter guilty or no contest plea, you're waiving those rights. You shouldn't do that if you don't understand what's happening. If you want to talk to a lawyer, or if you want a trial on your case, you should enter a not guilty, or if you don't know what to do, enter a not guilty plea. That's the safest plea. It preserves all of your rights. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus Charles D. Porter Jr., case number CRB 23338.
Sir, you Charles D. Porter Jr.
Yes.
Have you received a copy of this charge?
Yeah.
It's a menacing charge. It alleges that on May the 11th of this year in Rome Township, you knowingly caused Elvis Ritchie to believe you would cause physical harm to either his person or property. That is a 4th degree misdemeanor. Carries a maximum penalty of 30 days in jail and a $250 fine.
Yeah.
Do you understand the charge?
I understand.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to this charge?
I plead guilty, but I'll tell you what it was.
Well, let me ask you some questions before you start
Okay.
making an explanation. If you enter a guilty plea, you're admitting the charge is true. You're waiving any rights you have as a defense
Okay.
and to make the state prove this charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you
Okay.
understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to accept your guilty plea. Let me read the affidavit that was
Okay.
attached, and then if you want to make an explanation, you can. This says at 2:30 p.m. I was videotaping a vehicle that was pulled over at a traffic stop at Charles Porter's residence. Charles Porter Jr. said he would catch me up and fuck me up until no one would recognize me and that he didn't want to be recorded. So that was the basis of the charge.
Yeah, he walked up right, I was talking to, had this guy, he stowed a bunch of tools off my truck. And I had my phone connected Bluetooth to my car radio, and when I pulled in, while I was talking to him, right when Mr. Ritchie was walking up beside my window videotaping, I did tell him I didn't want videotape, but what I said wasn't meant towards him, it was meant to the person that I was talking to on the phone that stole like almost $600 worth of tools off of me.
Okay, Mr. Heald is in here. He's the assistant prosecutor.
Your Honor, this is a situation that's already, there are several charges pending before the court involving
The other person.
Elvis Ritchie as a defendant and Mr. Porter's father as the victim.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Porter's father as a defendant and Mr. Ritchie as a defendant. And we've actually had, I don't know how many charges there are together, 7 or 8. We've already had a trial on a couple of the charges a couple months ago. This is the case in which, in lieu of a special prosecutor being appointed, we have Mr. Nord from the prosecutor's office prosecute half the cases. And I don't know if you recall that or not, but
Sort of.
you'll be seeing it again soon. So what I would request, Your Honor, is him having entered a guilty plea that we would, I know that Mr. Ritchie is going to want to be here to give his statement as the victim in this matter, so we would want to have a separate sentencing hearing.
Okay. All right, do you heard what the prosecutor said?
Yeah.
You still want to continue with your guilty plea?
Now, I really don't understand all this. I mean,
Well, remember what I said at the beginning, if you don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on, you ought to enter a not guilty.
okay, I'll enter not guilty.
Okay. You want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
Yeah,
Are you working?
yeah, I work for Big Sandy.
Are you paid by the hour?
I'm on payroll. Now, I get paid by commission, whatever's on the truck, we get commission off of it.
Okay, I have to determine, the Ohio Supreme Court tells me I have to determine your gross annual income, so I gotta turn into an accountant here, so you gotta help me. Do you know what your gross
Yeah, I
annual income is?
have usually between 500 and 600 a week. But it just varies. I mean, more money I have on my truck, the more I make, so a lot of
Well, it
times,
sounds like you're making gross probably 25 to 30,000 a year, is that right?
probably.
Okay, do you have dependents? Do you have?
Yeah, I have three young boys. That's
Okay,
just
well,
me.
you're eligible for a court-appointed lawyer then. I'll appoint Mr. Stratton to represent you. He's here in the conference room, I believe. Mr. Stratton, this is Charles Porter Jr., who has a menacing charge of entering a not guilty plea for him. He can sign a $1,000 signature bond since he's appeared on his own. And we'll need to, unless there's a time waiver, we'll need to set it pretty quick because it has to be tried in 30 days.
What's the charge, Your Honor?
Menacing.
Menacing.
Fourth degree misdemeanor. And the complaining party it's a whole bunch of circulating charges with the complaining party, in this case, having charges that threw out an incident that led to all this, so.
Oh, okay. We can set it soon, maybe.
Are any of those cases still pending, Mr. Hill, do you think?
Yeah, they're coming back up in,
Why don't we look up,
July to something.
let's see, when Mr. Elvis Ritchie, R-I-T-C-H-I-E, see when his case is coming back, happening at the same time.
Elvis Ritchie,
Elvis Ritchie, that's not your client.
that's the other party.
Okay, yeah, that's the other party, but you don't represent Mr. Ritchie, do you?
No, I do not.
7/7.
July 7th, I think you already have cases.
Yeah, we can set it that day.
I'm going to set this one for July 7th.
What time?
10 o'clock. July 7th for pre-trial, 10 a.m.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I prepared a time limit. Where we get them all on the same day and hopefully get them all straightened out. If they don't, if he doesn't choose to waive, then we need the case sooner than that.
Well, that's why we set it in the 7th, because the time is.
That's true, it's pretty soon.
State of Ohio versus William T. Fields, case number TRC 23763, A and B.
William Fields. Mr. Holt, you're representing Mr. Fields?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay, so are you waiving a reading,
Yes, Your Honor.
not guilty plea entered?
Yes, Your Honor.
He can sign a signature bond of $1,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Tell the judge. Whenever it's time.
Looking at probably the 14th of July or after for a hearing.
Would the 17th or 24th work for me, or is good for you? Mondays.
Either one's fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which one's,
Which would you rather have, 17th or 27th? The 17th, Your Honor.
All right, July 17th will be the next hearing. Pre-trial, 10 a.m. Not guilty plea is entered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus La Honda D. Carter, case number TRC 23777, A and B.
This is also Mr. Holt's case.
Your Honor, this plea would waive a reading of the charges and plead not guilty.
Not guilty plea is entered.
We'd ask for a signature bond, Your Honor.
She can sign a $1,000 OR bond. You want the same date then?
Yes, Your Honor, if that would.
July 17th. July 17th will be the pretrial at 10 a.m. $1,000 OR bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Mark Bays, case number CRB 23340, A and B. Mark Bays.
Mark Bays.
Bays, you're here, come up here. Mark. He's sitting right there.
Mark Bays, B-A-Y-S. Okay. You're Mark Bays? All right, I think we'll appoint a lawyer. I'll appoint Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, I'm going to appoint you to represent Mr. Bays. There's some wildlife charges, and I think he's having difficulty understanding what's happening, so I'll appoint you, and the court will pay you, even if he technically doesn't qualify.
Okay, thank you.
Not guilty plea is entered for him. I'll go ahead and set a pretrial. If you want to try to work it out today with the prosecutor, you can. I'll set, what's your schedule like in July?
Any Monday is fine, but I could probably do Fridays also. We're coming back on the 17th, is that too?
That's fine. July 17th. For a pretrial, 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just come with me.
State of Ohio versus Joshua Kleiber, case number TRC 201541, A, B, and C, and CRB 20644.
All right, Josh Kleiber is here for a review hearing that you missed back in a minute. No, I'm sorry.
I think a couple Fridays ago.
6/26, okay.
Yeah, we were in
Last
Columbus.
Friday.
We were in Columbus working on concrete that week, and
Well, actually, I think it's set today. It says 6/26. Anyway. You paid off your funds, it looks like.
yeah, I got everything paid off. Just have a little bit of community service, but I've been so busy, it's hard for me to get it right now.
I'll give you a couple months then.
That's what I
I'll
was-
set your next one for August 28th. If you get it finished, you don't have to come back.
Okay, that works.
2 months.
Thank you.
August 28th. We could use you Wednesday and Thursday this week.
Yeah. Any day it don't rain, I can.
State of Ohio versus Nicholas R. Ranko Jr., case number CRB 21116.
All right. Mr. Ranko was set a week ago, looks like 10 days ago. And you missed. Usually you don't miss.
I know, sir. I apologize for that.
Okay, do you have a payment on your funds?
No, sir. I should know. I should have it on the 1st.
Well, why don't we do this? Can you cut grass?
Yes, sir.
Can he cut grass? We got a lot of grass to cut.
Okay.
Can you be here Wednesday?
Yeah.
You want it here, or
Yes.
come here first, not to the locks?
Yeah.
Come here at 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
and we'll have a weed eater or a lawnmower that will fit you.
Okay.
And I'll give you credit on your fines.
Okay, and that was Wednesday?
Wednesday,
Okay.
7:30. And I'll set your next hearing for July 24th. And if you get a day and a half, we'll do it. A day and a half of community service will take care of your fine.
All righty.
Okay. that's
Thank
all.
you, sir.
State of Ohio versus Damian Core, case number TRC 192634, A, B, and C.
Okay, this was set for a review hearing May 23rd. It looks like you missed that hearing.
Yes, sir, and I do apologize to the court. I would have never done anything to dishonor the court, but I clearly forgot.
Okay. And you did make a payment a few days ago,
Yes, sir.
and that's all you got left to do is pay off your fines.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll cancel the warrant. I'll set your next hearing for July 31st. Pay it off. You don't have to come back. 5 o'clock, July 31st.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Ernest R. Colgrove, case number CRB 23336.
And sir, you're Ernest Colgrove?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Colgrove, you have a menacing charge filed against you. It alleges that Union Township, April 24th of this year, you not only caused Daniel Woods to believe you would cause physical harm to either his property or his person. That's a 4th-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail, $250 fine.
Yes, sir.
You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed?
No, I'll get one.
How much time do you need to do that?
I'll have to get one. I'm from over in Canova, so I'll have to get one. I'll find my nephew, I'll get to hear him hiring somebody. I don't know what, 30, 40 day, I don't know.
Okay.
Couple months.
I'll give you a month, but here's the thing. We have what's called speedy trial rights, and since yours is, it's the lowest level jailable offense, so it has to be tried within 30 days if you want it tried within 30 days. I'll give you a 30-day continuance to find a lawyer, but that time's not going to run against the state as far as getting it tried. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah, no choice to it.
Well, I can set it sooner if you...
No,
if
I
you
need
want-
some time to,
Okay. So
I mean, I'm trying to run a business and doing that too, you know.
I understand. Okay, I'll set it for, would you prefer a Monday or Friday?
Let's do it on a Monday probably.
July 24th will be your next hearing. You want to write that down, there's a form right there to put it on. July 24th, 10 o'clock, pre-trial. I'm letting you sign a $1,000 signature bond. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, sir.
Not guilty plea is entered for you. And I'm indicating you will hire a lawyer. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, July 24th is your next hearing.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Elizabeth Payton, case number CRB 23339.
Ma'am, you're Elizabeth Payton.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Payton, I think you just got handed a copy of the charge.
Yes.
It's a domestic violence complaint. It alleges that May 24th of this year, In Union Township, you knowingly caused or attempted to cause physical harm to Charles Birch, and that Charles is either a member of your family or household. So domestic violence, first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand the rights you have?
Yes.
How do you plead to this charge?
Not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed?
I have one.
Who's your lawyer?
Jennifer Ransbottom.
Okay.
Charles is supposed to be present today to drop the charges, and he's not here. He said he's on his way. I cannot get a hold of him since.
Well, you might want to check with Ms. Ransbottom, because I'm not sure she's licensed in Ohio.
Okay.
But in any event, you're going to have a private lawyer represent you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. Is the state still going forward with these charges as far as you know?
Well, Your Honor, we did get a call from Mr. Birch that he was on his way. I didn't realize it was to drop charges because he had initially called and said that he wanted to pursue them, so.
Well, do you want to wait and recall after he gets here?
That would be best, I think, Your Honor.
What time do you think you'll be here, ma'am?
He had messaged me just previously and said that, he said 5 minutes ago, he called and told them 5 minutes ago, he said he'll be here in 3 minutes.
Okay, we'll recall this later in the docket after he gets here and he can talk to the prosecutor's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We'll recall. Have a seat.
State of Ohio versus Dustin M. Lister, case number CRB 23383. Dustin Lister. Not checking in, Your Honor.
Dustin Lister was released from the jail on a medical release. And it's a theft offense, so he hasn't appeared today. There'll be a bench warrant issued for failure to appear. Okay, that's all the arraignments that are ready. We may have some more that are getting worked on and will be called later, so we're going to go to the pre-trial thing.
State of Ohio versus Brittany L. Schaefer, case number CRA 2332.
All right, this is Mr. Holt's case.
Yes, Your Honor, there's an entry that's been presented. Mr. Hill signed off on it.
All right, the state of Ohio did not object to this expungement, so your entry is approved. If you want to take the file, you can
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
get the entry entered.
Thank you.
You're right.
State of Ohio versus Stuart Shepard, case number CRB 23221 A and B.
Is Mr. Delauder's case set for pre-trial?
Judge, this is a kind of a cross-filing with some other individuals that are Mr. Holt's clients. He is discussing with them now potential resolution, so it'll have to be recalled. Yes.
This case will be recalled later in the document.
Your Honor, we have a review that State of Ohio versus Leroy Campbell, case number PRD 123025, PRD 122259, CRA 10627.
All right, Mr. Campbell is here, and was actually on the review docket today. Now we can get in the file review. Got a report from RRS. good report. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but the use of Suboxone and gabapentin together, I think.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right, but otherwise, it's a good report. Community service is done.
I just made a payment a couple days ago, Your Honor.
I see that. Mondays or Fridays, which is best for you?
Whichever, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. July 31st, it's a
Thank you.
Monday. Okay, good job, keep it up. July 31st is your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
You are.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You are.
State of Ohio versus Michael Shore, case number CRB 2315.
All right, it's Mr. Delauder's case set for pre-trial.
It is, Judge. We had an agreement with the state that the case would be dismissed if there are no further problems and upon Mr. Shore's payment of restitution. He paid the restitution back on March 20th here at the court. And as far as I know, there have been no other issues.
We have consulted with the alleged victim, now the victim in this case, and she has indicated there have been no further problems. So we're okay with the dismissal upon the payment of court costs.
We can do that today, Judge.
All right, it'll be dismissed on payment of costs, see the clerk.
All right, thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio versus Terry Spangler, case number TRC 23646, A, B, and C.
Mr. Delauder's case.
Judge, this is charged as a second offense OVI. I've talked to Mr. Heald about potential resolutions here. I believe from the state's perspective, they would like to see Ms. Spangler involved in some alcohol counseling, which is fine. Ms. Spangler is agreeable to do that. I actually had her looking into that before today, but she's got private insurance. So I've talked to some of the providers here today, and they've made some recommendations to me about who to have Ms. Spangler get in touch with.
Mr. Webb is here, he says he can.
Blue Cross Blue Shield?
It is.
We'll take her as outpatient. She can go over there.
All right.
I'll have her talk to them today, and then can we get a different pretrial date, and that way I can come back and show Mr. Heald some progress?
Yeah, what date would you like to come back?
Maybe about 3 or 4 weeks. Let's see, what's the 17th of July?
17th is fine.
Okay.
July 17th will be the next hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio recalls Mark Bays, case number CRB 23340, A and B. Mark.
You can. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yes.
And I don't mind if he talks to you about it.
Okay, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, we would like to change our plea to guilty.
Yes, sir.
And would suggest a fine for both offenses of $50 plus. I believe the court cost on this is $30 with this type of offense. Is it
It should be
Fine.
110.
110?
We don't oppose if there's just one court cost.
Okay, so it'd be 160 total. What now? 160, you can pay it over to. Okay, so it would be 160.
Okay, I'll put the court costs on the A case and the fine, $50, one court cost, no fine, no court costs on the B case. And he's got any time to pay.
Yes.
From my understanding. So,
Be a review hearing.
I'll set it for a review hearing for October the 20th. At 9 o'clock. I won't make any probation, but if he wants a copy of the entry, he can get it from probation.
I'm sorry.
October 20th review, I'm not putting him on probation, but he can get a copy of the entry from probation.
Okay. And he needs to see the clerk about the benefits, that's right? Okay. See the clerk here. See the clerk, where we were. Okay.
State of Ohio versus Breanne Hensley, case number CRB 23350. Breanne Hensley.
Mr. Thompson's case set for pre-trial.
I just talked to her last night.
Breanne Hensley.
We'll call her up again in a little while.
It'll be recalled later in the document.
State of Ohio versus Justin E. Stapleton, case number CRB 23359, TRD 21695, TRD 221021, A and B.
Looks like there's a new case amongst these, 23359.
What is this one?
It's a violation of protection order. It had not been served, wasn't filed until June 14th.
I haven't violated any protection orders.
It's alleged to occur on May 31st. So you waive a reading, Mr.
We waive.
I'll enter a not guilty plea on that. How do you want to proceed?
Well, can we just continue this to July 17th on the new charge?
Yes.
And on the other 3 charges, we want to change our plea to guilty.
Okay. Well, why don't we do this? I'll just delay sentencing and pretrial, see how this works out. Everything will be set for July 17th. Sentencing on the old cases and pretrial on the new case.
For these offenses here.
Those are fine. This one is not.
Yeah.
He can sign a $1,000 signature bond on the new charge. Mr. Thompson is appointed, not guilty plea is entered. Pretrial for July 17th, 10 o'clock, and apparently there is already an order in place.
Your Honor,
Stay away from Tiffany English.
on the traffic
I
violation.
haven't been around her at all. This is just some negative stuff.
He's trying to get his license back. This is for working, and he's got a few steps to go through, so he would like to just go ahead and plead and be sentenced on the DUS.
Okay. You can do that. So that's 22-1021, A and B, and 21-695. So he still doesn't have a license then.
No, sir.
What did you say they were around?
221021. Okay, and this is a no operator's license and a safety belt violation. Anything you want to tell me about it, Mr. Stapleton?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, on the no operator's license, the A case, I'll impose a $75 fine, order you to pay the court costs, 12 hours of community service, uh, 2 years of level 5 probation. Review hearing will be October 20th.
Is 210695 merged into this?
No, I haven't done it.
Okay.
And then the safety belt's the B case, and that's a mandatory $30 fine. Was a driving under suspension. So there's a $100 fine on that and court costs.
Shows he did not have insurance at the time, but she's aware of that.
Yeah. Was there any insurance on him or the vehicle?
It wasn't his vehicle, it was a motorcycle.
Okay.
It's a dirt bike.
All right. Let me read the facts on this. Were you injured in this incident?
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the hospital.
Okay, it looks like you hit something in the road and it caused you to wreck.
Yeah, bottle jack.
Okay, I'll suspend the fine. That sounds like it was enough of the penalty of itself.
Yes, sir,
I'll
thank you.
suspend the fine, or you pay the court costs, no community service. Review hearing, level 5 probation, October 20th. And we'll keep the July 17th date for the other charge. You'll need to go to probation to see Mr. Major.
State of Ohio versus Jamil Santiago, case number TRC 23528, A, B, C, and D.
All right, this is Mr. Haslam's case, it's set for pre-trial.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state and I were able to engage in some brief discussions about Mr. Santiago's case. Mr. Cruz Santiago's case, I believe we both agree that it would be in the best interest to perhaps have a discussion with the court at the court's convenience and reset today's matter.
Okay, when do you want to do that?
Friday, Your Honor.
We're okay with that, Your Honor.
I may not be, because I am trying to keep that. I'd rather not do it Friday. Got another date.
Is the court open on Monday, Your Honor? Or is the court closed?
It is
Monday, Your Honor.
The 3rd, July 3rd. All right, July 3rd will be the next one. 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Sir.
State of Ohio versus Garrett Johnson, case number TRC 23386, and
Mr. Morning, Mr. Donald's case, set for pre-trial.
Yep. Thank you, Your Honor. Last time we were here, we pled guilty to a OVI, first-time offense. Based upon conversation with the prosecutor in the court, there was indication that they would have liked to see Mr. Johnson engage in counseling. So he did get an assessment prior to our last hearing date. But since he's followed up, he's been going to Huntington Behavioral Health. He's gotten 3 appointments in, sessions in since that time on May 18th, June 1st, and June 15th. So good report so far. Sounds like maybe we set out another pre-trial or a sentencing day whenever at the court's bequest when they feel.
All right, Mr. Hill.
And we have reviewed that, Your Honor. We're satisfied that he's started the process, and we want him to continue, and so we're okay with the continuance. I suggested to Mr. Donald that maybe he might want to appear by Blue Jeans if the court approved that next time.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right. I did not see a report. Is there written reports on this? Or?
There was an assessment.
Here's one.
Thank you.
Is this his copy?
Wait a minute, let me just make sure this is today's.
You should. It does have it in there.
Yeah, that's today's.
All right. About a month out soon?
That'll work, Your Honor.
July 28th or 31st, either one works.
Especially if it's by video, Your Honor, I should be okay on the 28th. I'm pulling that up now. My phone's working slow, but I'm sure July 28th will be fine, especially if it's going to be by video.
All right, July 28th, let's set it at noon.
Okay.
For a teleconference. It'll be a pretrial.
He actually entered a plea back on May the.
Oh, okay, it'd be a sentencing, sorry. Yep. It'll be a sentencing hearing. Continue with your counsel.
State of Ohio versus Christy D. Booth, case number CRB 23315.
All right, this is Mr. Scott's case.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, please the court, I've spoken with the alleged victim in this matter, and the last time we were here, we discussed family counseling.
Right.
And that has not come to pass. However, in speaking with the victim and her father, the circumstances are such that they don't feel that it's necessary or appropriate at this time to require it, and they haven't been able to go to the counseling themselves. And so what we're proposing at this time, since we've already started and been involved with this case for a month or so, we would suggest that another 60 days after that's passed, and we would, and if there's no further problems, we would agree to a dismissal upon the payment of court costs.
Is that agreeable?
It is, Your Honor.
So there's a time waiver during the intervening time? So I'm looking at August 25th.
That's my birthday, Judge, let's do it.
August 25th for pretrial, 4 o'clock.
If he gets a cake, I'm going to be mad.
Well, I'm not going to wait.
Consider it a win.
State of Ohio recalls Stuart Shepard, case number CRB 23221 A and B. State of Ohio versus Caleb Blake, case number CRB 23222. And State of Ohio versus Anna Shepard, case number CRB 23220.
Fair resolution.
And all these cases are set for pretrial. Mr. Holt represents Caleb Blake and Ann Shepard, and Mr. Delauder represents Stuart Shepard.
Yes, so Judge, I believe that the parties have all been able to reach an agreeable resolution to all the cases. And I think what's being proposed is that the cases against Mr. Holt's clients would be dismissed. My client was the alleged victim, and he's agreeable with that. One of the cases against Mr. Shepard would be dismissed, and he would be pleading no contest to an amended charge in the second case. The parties are agreeable to amend the charge to disorderly conduct, a misdemeanor of the 4th degree.
So is that the assault being amended? Or?
Yes.
Okay. And everybody's on board with this?
Yes.
I think that would be the one involving Anna Shepard.
Okay.
Right. And then...
that would be the A case, the domestic violence.
Yes. I'm sorry. You're right. Yes, not the assault case, the Digby case.
What would be the section number?
I believe it's 291711. Do you need the subsection, or do you need?
No.
Okay.
That's correct. It'll be an M4. Is that correct? M4 disorder?
Yes, that's correct, Judge. And the reason for that amendment is because the agreed recommended sentence in Mr. Shepard's case was, we anticipated then making a joint recommendation with respect to sentencing that would involve a 3-day suspended jail commitment, $100 fine and court costs, and as long as Mr. Shepard could pay the fine and court costs today, there would be no recommendation for any kind of probation. And Mr. Shepard's agreeable to that.
We're agreeable to that.
Mr. Hill?
Well, the parties have reconciled this amongst themselves, and we are agreeing with the way that they've decided that it should be resolved.
All right. Does anyone else want to say anything? All right, so Caleb Blake's case 23222 is dismissed. Case against Anna Shepard 23220 is dismissed. Case involving Stuart Shepard 23221B is dismissed. And the A case is amended to a disorderly conduct to which there is a guilty plea, Mr. Daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Shepard, anything you wish to say?
Nope.
I'll approve what was agreed to and recommended amongst the parties. So on the disorderly conduct, there'll be a $100 fine and court cost, 3 days in jail, all suspended, no probation. See the clerk can pay the fines and court costs.
He'll take care of that right now, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Big case is for the end.
It is.
State of Ohio versus Primer E. Butcher, case number CRB 22585, A and B, at the Lawrence County Jail. Tia Hammond is on deck.
All right, we're going to wait until clerk is catching up with the last case. All right, this is Mr. Tyler Smith's case. It's set today for a pretrial. Mr. Butcher is at Lawrence County Jail.
Yes, Your Honor, we were waiting to see the result of his complete case. Mr. Butcher, can you hear us?
Yes.
Did you have your hearing in common police court?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Morford's your attorney in that case?
Yes.
Okay, do you know the result? He's not here today, so I haven't had a chance to talk to him. Do you?
I pled out for 36 months in prison.
Mr. Butcher, I'm talking with the prosecutor, based on your sentence in common police court, he's willing to run a sentence here. It's the jail time concurrent with his prison sentence. If you want to plead, get it over with today, that we don't come back. Yes. Okay.
So to change the plea to guilty then?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a obstructing official business and I think receiving stolen property. Is there any restitution?
Well, we're looking right now, and I think that they might have gotten everything back. We would like to have a minute to find that out and to make sure that the sentence has been already done in the common police court. So if we could have that.
Okay. All right, Mr. Butcher, we're going to let the prosecutor look at your felony case and we'll recall you. So we'll have to have you back on the calendar in a few minutes.
State of Ohio versus Tia S. Hammond, case number CRA 23365A, CRB 13538. Dylan Hernandez is on deck.
Hammond is up. Hernandez is next. This is Roger Smith's case.
It is, Judge. We were here Friday. She was trying to get a bed, and I understood she was going to get one today. I don't know where Nick is. He was trying to coordinate that for us.
Okay, we were all, was this an ankle? We were waiting on an ankle?
Yes, and then he had to go pick up another client, so we left it on for today with, you understand, there will be a bed today?
Yes.
Is there a bed?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, is this the one, though, that is going to go on to the grand jury?
Yes.
Yes, we were hoping for a monitor from Zach Alvarez.
It did, yes, we have one available, Your Honor. It did come off the Zach Alvarez.
So are you going to waive the preliminary hearing?
Yes,
today?
Judge. In return for the ankle monitor and release from jail to treatment, we will waive the preliminary hearing.
All right, Ms. Hammond, can you hear that? Do you have any questions? All right, her case is going to be bound over to the grand jury, but as bond, I'll make it a $15,000 OR bond with an ankle monitor, and her to be released to RRG.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to pick her up?
Yes, me and another lady for him. Yes.
You may have to take her over to get the ankle monitor replaced. I don't know how
That's
that's
no
going
problem.
to work. But
Just over to the courthouse.
yeah,
Probation.
to adult probation. at the courthouse. And then, so there's not going to be any supervising until she comes back. Well, we've got a case here pending on a theft. That's old. I mean, I can set it for review
If you want to, Judge, that's,
when I have her back. Because how long is it going to take to get her indicted?
Within the next month.
45 days on the other.
That's fine. There's a pending charge here?
No, there's an old theft offense that's she never completed and never did with anything she was. Okay, let's set that for review in about 3 weeks. That way someone is looking at what she's doing.
Okay.
It could be,
I know the last week of July is that murder trial. I'm
well, let's come back.
99% certain it's going.
July 17th.
Let me see, Judge, that should work. That's before the trial. That's actually the start of another trial with Judge Ballard, Monday and Tuesday. I'm here the 14th.
21st?
Or the 21st. I can do the 21st. Yes,
Or
sir.
we could go earlier.
That's fine. I can do, yeah, either the 14th or 21st, either one. It's better for the court's calendar.
What do you want this set at?
Review. It'll be a review on 13/5/38.
Okay.
13/5/38. I'm sorry, what day?
I said the 14th or 21st, whichever's less crowded.
Let's do the 14th.
I can do that.
Review at 9 o'clock. She will be inpatient through our RGM.
Hammonds, H-A-M-M-O-N-D-S. I say it's afternoon.
Okay, this will, waiver on the preliminary hearing will need to be faxed to the jail.
Do you want me to do a documentary also, or will that work for her?
It's gonna, I put it on the waiver that she's being released to treatment. And will we need an entry on the ankle monitor?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do that also.
Only other one I have, Judge, is John Wright. It needs to be continued. His CCS trial is continued.
He's not in jail.
No, oh no, he's in, if I may, I've already had Philip prepare, sign an entry if I may approach. That's-
All right, on John Wright, 23-113, I'll continue it to July 31st. And that will be for sentencing.
July the 31st?
Yes.
State of Ohio versus Dylan Hernandez at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 23381. And Rebecca Williamson is on deck.
Sarah, you're Dylan Hernandez? And can you hear me okay, Mr. Hernandez? I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake, Ohio. Your hearing is occurring by teleconference, obviously. You're appearing in the courtroom on a television monitor, and it's all being recorded. So whatever you say is going down on the record. It could be used against you. You don't have to say anything. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail, to make the state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand those things? The charge against you is violating a protection order. It's alleged on June 24th in Perry Township, you recklessly violated a protection order that was entered against you. That's a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge? How do you wish to plead to it?
I plead not guilty.
Do you want a lawyer appointed?
What is it?
Do you want a lawyer appointed to represent you? You have the money to hire a lawyer.
Can I get a lawyer appointed one?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a job.
Do I have a job?
Right.
I used to be a heavy equipment operator, but I recently got laid off.
Okay. When was the last time you worked?
Last week. I do have a VA compensation every month. I did not use the Navy. I'm a disabled veteran, Your Honor.
How much is that?
$4,000.
A month?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you're probably not going to be qualified for a court-appointed lawyer unless you got a whole bunch of kids.
I do have a lot of kids. I also have child support.
How many children do you have that you're supporting?
I have 3 children, but 2 are the ones that are on the child support, Your Honor.
Okay, one lives with you?
Say again, Your Honor?
You have one child that lives with you and 2 you're supporting through child support?
No, I have, she's a residential, I have visitation rights, Your Honor. This whole protection order, it was supposed to be jobs, it wasn't. We're just trying to co-parent for kids.
Okay, when you were operating heavy equipment, who were you working for?
Solid Energy, it was People Ready, but Solid Energy was a company of People Ready was a temp service through Solid Energy.
And how much were you getting paid to do that?
Well, I just got raised to 24 an hour.
Okay. Well, I don't think I can appoint you a lawyer based on your income. You're making too much money. What's the state's position on bond? Are you agreeable to an OR bond?
We are, Your Honor, and in looking at what I've been provided so far, it would be helpful if Mr. Hernandez had some contact information for Sonny Hernandez, so we could.
Do you know how to get a hold of Sonny Hernandez?
My mother-in-law is who I communicate through.
What's her
I
name?
don't have anybody's phone numbers memorized, or else I would call them while I was in here.
Okay. All right, I'm going to let you out on a signature bond, which means you don't have to post any money. You're just promising to come to court when you're ordered to. The court is in Chesapeake. You know where the court's located?
I know where Chesapeake, Ohio is, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you live in Ironton, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you got to come to Chesapeake, and on County Road 1 is the municipal court. That's where your hearing is going to be.
Okay.
You got to be here, and we're going to pick a date. Okay, I'm going to set it for the 7th of July. That's the first Friday in July at 10 a.m. at the court in Chesapeake. You got to come to court then. And there's apparently already an order that you stay away from Sonny, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you all aren't living together now?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you don't have to be around her.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so stay away from her until we get back to court.
Is it possible that she could get it dropped so we can continue co-parenting or not?
Well, she can talk to the prosecutor. I don't make the charging decisions. That's what the prosecutor does. So she'll need to, apparently she talked to someone to get the charges filed. If she wants to get them dropped, she'll have to talk to someone other than me. She can't talk to me. She can talk to the prosecutor. Try to get
Yes,
them.
Your Honor.
Right now.
You can't communicate with her.
Your Honor, there's nothing in the file so far that indicates where the protection order is or how to get a hold of her. So we'll be figuring that stuff out between now and when we come back.
Okay, well, I'll set the next hearing for July 7th for a pretrial. I'm not going to appoint a lawyer for you. It's up to you whether you hire one. You may want to show up the first hearing and see what's going to happen if she's going to try to drop the charges. I'm letting you sign a signature bond of $1,000. As long as you come to court when you're ordered to, you don't have to post the money.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have any questions, Mr. Hernandez?
No, Your Honor, if I do have any questions, who do I go to then?
Call the court. Call the court, Lawrence County Municipal Court. And if you got access to computer, you can go on there and pull your case up. We have a docket where you can pull up your docket and see your case. Okay, July 7th is your next hearing at 10 a.m.
All right, Your Honor.
So you'll be getting out today.
Everything?
State of Ohio versus Rebecca A. Williamson, case number CRB 23382. And Donald Williamson is on deck.
Ma'am, are you Rebecca Williamson?
Yes.
You should have received a copy of the charge. It was faxed down to the jail at 10 o'clock this morning, about an hour ago. It's a domestic violence complaint. I'm going to go over it with you. I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court, and you are appearing in the court today on a television monitor. It's all being recorded. You don't have to say anything. If you choose to make statements, what you say can be used against you if you admit something is damaging to your case. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bond, and to make the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yeah. Yes.
The charge against you is domestic violence. It alleges that on June 25th of this year in Union Township, you either knowingly caused or tried to cause physical harm to Donald Williamson, and that he's a member of your family or household. It's a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty, 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
How do you plead?
Not really.
Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Yes.
Do you have a job?
No.
You have no income?
No.
All right, Mr. Scott, I'm going to appoint you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And let's see, Ms. Williamson, I've got a Chesapeake address for you.
Yes.
Any objection to no R bond?
No, Your Honor, there's a cross-filing.
Okay.
And so I guess we would need to address the issue of
Who's
who's
gonna
going to
live
live
where.
where.
Do you have a place to stay other than with Donald?
Yes.
Where would that be?
My parents.
Okay, I'm going to order that you stay, the two of you stay away from each other. Just so I don't want there to be any allegations of domestic violence while we're waiting on your case. So just stay away from each other.
I just have one question. My car and my stuff that I desperately need is at that house. Am I allowed to get that and leave?
We got a 24-hour agreement that she can do good things for the residents.
Well, I mean, we're going to have to talk to the other.
He's also incarcerated. He's next.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So where your keys are at the house?
No, I have them with me.
Okay. So you don't have to go in the house to get the car?
No, but I still have stuff in the house.
Okay. Well, the main thing is I don't want there to be another incident. So I'm going to order the two of you stay away from each other. If you can get your stuff without going around him, then that's fine. But I don't want there to be a big fight when you show up and try to claim the Tupperware. Okay? So, no incidents. I'll be talking to him shortly, too. Are there children involved here?
No,
Okay. Do you all own this house, or is this a rental?
a rental.
Who's on the lease?
It's three of us.
Who's the
Household.
third? Who's the third person?
His sister,
She lives there too?
yes.
Okay, and you've got parents you can go stay with, right?
I shouldn't have to, but
Well, I think that's going to be the most logical, because the sister's not involved in that. Does the sister have charges against her?
Not that we know of.
Okay. So you go stay with your parents, get your stuff if you can do so without breaching the peace, and then we probably need to come back as soon as we can.
Sure. They'll be back as early as Friday, Judge.
Is there going to be a protection order? I mean,
That's what, are you asking for one?
well, I
Let's
guess,
ask her if she wants one.
yeah, I think that might be,
Do you want Donald to order to stay away from you?
yes,
Okay.
it's violent.
Well, then I'm going to order you stay away from him. And I'll order him to stay away from you. And we can come back pretty quickly then. Well, I don't want to do this Friday. How about in a week, on the 3rd, July 3rd?
I'm already here all day. It works for me.
All right, July 3rd is going to be your next hearing, ma'am.
What time?
10 o'clock, the court in Chesapeake. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I think so. I can find it.
Okay.
I'll be in contact with you prior to then, okay?
You want a phone number? You have a phone where your lawyer can reach you?
Yes.
What is it?
Do you want me to tell the number out loud?
Well, you can fax it to the court if you, I don't know, he's right here, he's gonna write it down. I don't know, there's people here, but nobody really seems very interested in it.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
678-824-3166.
Perfect, thank you. I'm easy to find.
Okay, she can sign a $1,000 signature bond, so I'm letting you sign a signature bond. As long as you come to
Yeah.
court, you don't have to post the money. Just come to court when you're supposed to, which is July 3rd,
So
1 week from today.
I don't pay anything today to get out?
No.
You're gonna get kicked out whether you wanna go or not. You have to leave the jail.
Thank God. Thank
Okay.
God.
State of Ohio versus Donald Williamson, case number CRV 23-384. Tyler Butcher is on deck.
All right, sir, you're Donald Williamson?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Williamson. I'm Judge Capper. You've got a domestic violence charge filed against you,
Yes, sir.
and it should be in your hand or rattling around the jail somewhere because it was faxed down about 45 minutes ago.
Yes, sir. I have it in myself.
All right, it's alleged that on June 25th, in Union Township, you not only caused or tried to cause physical harm to Rebecca Williamson, and she's either a member of your family or household. It's a domestic violence complaint, alleges, that is a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty, 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
I didn't explain your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you do, it's all on the record. It can be used against you if you blur out something that hurts your case. Prosecutor's sitting right here. He can use it against you. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed. You can't afford one. To have bail, and to make the state prove this charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all those things?
Yes, sir.
On this domestic violence charge, how do you want to plead?
Not guilty.
Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Appointed, please.
Are you working?
No, sir.
You don't have any income coming in?
No, sir.
All right, Holt,
Say again?
I'm appointing you a lawyer. I'm getting him in
Okay.
order. Mr. Holt?
Okay.
like to look into, sir, if you could, I'd like to look into rehab.
Okay.
I went to Riverside this past few months, and I've been out for a couple months now. I'd like to go back to that program if possible.
Okay, they're here, they've got a representative here.
I think Bobby Wynn was the person I need to speak to.
You look at you look in the monitor, you can see him.
Yeah,
He's
I see him right there.
He's standing in the courtroom.
If he thinks to have me back, I'd love to come back.
I'll take him back.
But this time, no distractions, and I'm there for me, and I'm there to finish the program.
So inpatient? All right, well, that takes care of some of the protection order issues, I guess. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you sign a signature bond in order that you be released for inpatient treatment at RRS. And then we set a hearing for July 3rd. Are you able to do that?
One last question. My personal belongings, like clothing and shoes and personal hygiene stuff, is that my residence? Would I be allowed to get that, or would I have to wait till I get to the RRS and then we'll go from there?
You go there first and then they'll take care of that stuff, right?
Okay, all right.
We did $10 to be here.
Well, I said this may change things. Maybe I'll do the 10th, because now they're not going to have the whole issue who's going to live. Except we got his sister. Your sister lives at the house?
Yes.
I don't know if that's a problem.
Do you think she'll allow, what's her first name?
My first name's Crystal.
Do you think she'll let Rebecca live at the house?
Would I think she'll let Rebecca live at the house or come to the house?
Would your sister allow Rebecca to live at the house?
Probably. If I'm out of the house, probably.
Okay, so they get along. They get along okay.
I'll facilitate some conversation and find out.
Okay.
We all get along until drug use is involved.
Okay. Well, that's probably a very honest answer.
Yes.
I've observed that a few times myself, not personally, but here at the court. So you're available the 10th?
I am, Your Honor.
Let's change Rebecca's case to July 10th. We'll put everything on July 10th.
We do still think there needs to be protection order.
I'm going to issue a protection order. It's not going to be that big an issue because you're not going to be around. You're going to be at the facility. But I don't want you leaving, going around Rebecca. You guys will stay away from each other for now. And we'll come back on the 10th. She can stay. She said she's going to stay at her parents, but she wants to stay at the house and wants to stay with his sister. I'll allow that.
Actually, I spoke to Sue, Your Honor. I am on military orders beginning the 10th.
Okay. Well, is there any way you could do, what have you got on the 3rd, Mr. Cole?
I'll be out of town for the holiday there.
How-
I could do the Friday before that.
Okay, this Friday?
30th.
I don't really want to do it then because I need to get out of here. But I could have Judge Hall come and relieve me.
I can do it the 17th.
So from July 10th to August 10th, I'm out.
Okay. How about the 7th?
Of July,
Yeah.
I am in Scioto County.
Maybe do my blue jeans then, Your Honor? Or?
Yeah.
So what day are we gonna do this?
3rd.
Will I be released to RRS today?
Yes, sir. And you'll pick him up today?
Yes, sir.
We've prepared protection orders, Your Honor, for both of them.
Okay, we'll send down a protection order. Not guilty pleas in there for you. Sounds like at least you know what's the root of the problem. That's the first step in solving it. You gotta trace it.
I suppose the others realize they're root of the problems as well, that they need to treat it just like that. I can only speak for me.
True. All right, July 3rd is going to be the next hearing. I'll set a $1,000 OR bond for Mr. Williams.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
The State of Ohio recalls Tyler E. Butcher at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 22585, A and B.
This is a recall for Mr. Tyler Smith.
Your Honor, we were allowed a little bit of time to make sure that we knew everything we needed to know to go forward. And the victim in this matter is not requesting restitution. And also we confirmed that Mr. Butcher got 36 months in prison imposed from common pleas court. So we would be okay with a concurrent sentence on these two charges of 60 days.
Okay. All right. Could you hear that, Mr. Butcher?
Yes.
All right, to make this real easy then, I'm not going to impose any fine or court costs on these. I'll sentence you to 60 days in jail, make it concurrent with what you're getting in common pleas court, and no probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck.
You want your 60 days suspended?
60 days suspended, or not suspended, concurrent. 60 days concurrent.
State of Ohio recalls Breanne Hensley, case number TRB 23350. We'll finish that last one.
Okay, that finishes at the jail.
Breanne Hensley. She did not check in.
I would ask for a little bit of time to get her in here. I talked to her last night. I don't know what's happened. Maybe the 7th. The warrant goes out. If not,
Well, we would ask that a bench warrant be issued in 7 days if she doesn't appear.
Okay. I'm letting the clerk finish up the last case. Okay, on Breanne Hensley, she has 7 days to appear before a warrant will issue for failure to appear.
thank you.
State of Ohio versus Dante M. Pennington, case number CRB 23208.
Mr. Holt's case is that for pre-trial.
Your Honor, I believe we have a resolution in this matter. The defendant would agree to waive time to a continuous of approximately 60 days. I believe it would be dismissed. There's no further issues on payment of court costs at that time.
We, Your Honor, had discussed the issue of a 90-day continuance back in May, and if there weren't any further problems, and there have been no further problems up to this point, and the victim has been consulted and is in agreement with the dismissal at a later date if there are no further problems. So we discussed continuing it into sometime in August, and that would give us a total of 90 days.
All right, August 25th.
And we asked that if there's no further issues, that Mr. Payton doesn't have to appear because he's having this work.
As long as the court costs are paid.
Okay. That works, Your Honor.
All right, 90, well, it'll be August 25th. Be dismissed then if there's no further problems and the costs are paid and no appearance is required of the defendant if he's paid the cost by then, and there's no further problems. August 25th, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Kevin T. Donnelly, case number CRB 23364.
Your Honor, there's been an offer made by the state that we are in agreement with. So I believe in exchange for a plea of guilty, the state will recommend 10 days jail, all suspended, and 5 days community service.
That is correct. We didn't discuss the fine, but we would also expect court costs.
And I'm sorry, tell me again what the recommendation.
10 days jail suspended, 5 days community service.
All right, there's a guilty plea then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Donnelly?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to say?
No, sir.
Okay, all opposed, what was recommended, $100 fine, court costs, 10 days in jail suspended, 5 days community service. What's your work schedule? Do you work?
Yeah, I work 5 days a week. It's usually 7, 8 in the morning till 3 or 4.
Monday
or
to Friday?
4 or 5. Yeah.
Okay, you can work on Saturdays then?
Okay. Yeah, that'd be best.
And we need you, can you get out this Saturday? We need.
Yeah, I'm sure I can, yeah. What time would I have to be here in the morning?
7:30.
7:30?
Kevin Donnelly. All right, October 20th will be your review hearing date. If you haven't finished it, you gotta come in then and explain why you didn't.
You said the 20th?
20th at 9 o'clock. 2 years, I'll make it level 5 probation. You used to see Mr. Major in the probation office.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus LaRon C. Beach, case number CRB 23364.
This is Mr. Tyler Smith's case as a pre-trial.
Hey, Tyler. going to go with before we leave.
Your Honor, I believe we have this matter resolved. For exchange of plead guilty, I believe that the state and the victim are requesting that Mr. Beach do anger management. We had worked out a different recommendation, but I think at this point, he said he would agree to do anger management, so we just need to get him assessed and find out where he is and then set sentencing at a later time.
Okay, how does he pay for medical service?
I have a medical card.
Oh, I have a medical card?
Yeah.
All right, who can do the anger management? I see a hand. All right, so that's it. All right, so I want you to talk with Taylor about getting that set up. Accept a guilty plea today to delay sentencing. Set it for July 24th. Are you available?
Yes.
July 24th for sentencing. At 10 o'clock. And are you all still together? Or? No.
Your Honor, I would like to say for the record that our recommendation was 60 days in jail with 50 days suspended. And we were insisting that he would we recommend 10 days in jail. So this is how serious this is. And this young lady has come forth today and said that she would rather have him do anger management counseling because she feels like that might actually result in some positive change. So under those circumstances, we're willing to do that. But if he doesn't follow through and if there are any problems, we're going to be asking for a lot of jail time. So we want him to take it seriously.
You heard that, Mr. Beach, I assume?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you back July 24th. You're welcome to be here, ma'am. You don't have to be. 10 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Chair v. Nance, case number TRC 22812 A and B.
Now, has he started RRS? Or?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen his screen?
No, sir.
Probably want to take a look at that. Got some work to do.
Yes.
All right.
Your Honor, he was coming in today to turn himself in to start his jail sentence.
Yes.
After his jail sentence, I would recommend inpatient.
Seems very reasonable to me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he's coming in the hands of the sheriff at this point for his one-day jail sentence. Then inpatient treatment after that. His next hearing, July 24th, review in a month. So.
State of Ohio versus Lance M. Davis, case number CRB 2350 A and B, TRC 2339 A, B, C, and D.
So we don't have a resolution of this yet. This was sent for the pre-trial trial.
It's Mr. Stratton's case.
Your Honor, we don't have a resolution of this case yet. I just asked for it to be set for another pre-trial, maybe in a couple of weeks. What's your schedule? You're good? Okay.
July 14th.
Yes, Your Honor.
That defendant's request case is continued to July 14th.
July 14th. Okay, we'll talk before. Yeah. Text me.
State of Ohio versus Shannon L. Lewis, case number TRC 23427A and B. Shannon Lewis.
Shannon? He's on the Star. He's at Star.
Okay.
Your Honor, may we approach for a second?
Yes. And you'll have to do, but as soon as you're done, council fair, you know, South Bay is going to be. So what we'll do, you'll just have to show up and you may have to do some treatment afterwards. I'm not sure what his history is, if it's drugs or if this is obviously alcohol.
Your Honor, we'll plead guilty to the charge of OVI and the left of center charge also. He's a Star, so I'll just ask that the court run his time concurrent with his Star time.
All right, Mr. Lewis, did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with your attorney?
Yeah.
Anything you want to tell me before I sentence you?
No, sir.
All right, this is a second offense. There is a guilty plea. I'll impose a $525 fine, court costs, a 1-year license suspension starting the day of the offense, which was in April. 30 days in jail, 20 suspended, and it'll run concurrent with the start time. 2 years of level 4 probation. So his jail time is running concurrent with STAR. 60 hours of community service. It's required to get substance use counseling. I understand he'll get at least some of that, maybe all of it at STAR. So I'll take a look at that once you get out and see where you are. It may require you to do some follow-up after you get out of STAR, which I understand they may require that too. So it may all be the same thing.
Yes. He also might be able to do the community service while he's in STAR, too, if that's okay with the court.
I'll take a look at whatever he submits.
Okay.
So it sounds like he's going to be in STAR till maybe September, I would say.
Well, that's a minimum time. It could be longer than that, of course, but
I'm going to set it for September the 15th. And if you're in STAR, you'll need to let us know still. If you're out, then you got to appear at the court in Chesapeake at 9 a.m. for a review hearing. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
I see there was another charge too. What was the other?
left of center.
$10 fine on that. Okay, take advantage of the counseling you're getting there, sir.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Bradley Thacker, case number CRB 23330.
Mr. Stratton's case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, when the prosecutor comes back, I can approach the bench on this
Okay.
case. Again, Your Honor.
Approach.
Is Melissa Black here? No.
How you want to proceed, Mr. Ewing?
Well, we would like an opportunity to consult with the victim on this and come back at a later date once we've determined how we need to proceed.
That's fine, Your Honor. I think we'll resolve this at the next court hearing.
State of Ohio recalls Elizabeth Payson, case number CRB 23339.
So, Your Honor, Charles Birch is here. He's the alleged victim. He actually is a police officer at this time, with Coal Grove and Proctorville. He wasn't at the time when this happened, but he is. He says that he and Ms. Payton are not together. They do share, just one child or? Just one child. One child together, and they are successfully co-parenting. And they are working things out as far as that goes. And his opinion about this is that Ms. Payton was under a lot of stress on the day that this happened, and that this is not a general behavior for her. And he feels that given all the circumstances involved, that it would be more harm than good if we continued the case out. We generally would want a period of time to make sure that there aren't any further problems before we would dismiss the case. But he has been pretty convincing to me in causing us to rely on him to say that we don't need the continuance, to just go ahead and agree to dismiss the case.
Is that with or without cost?
Should be with costs.
Is that agreeable to you, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
You can pay those today?
Not at the second, but I can be back before you guys close this evening.
Okay. Court closes at 4.
Okay.
So it'll be dismissed on payment of court costs, which would be $110.
Okay.
So see the clerk to pay that. The case will be dismissed.
Thank
Under the
you.
state's motion.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Jacob A. Burns, case number CRB 23297. Jacob Burns.
Sir. All right, Mr. Burns, do you have counsel representing you?
No, sir. It's supposed to be dismissed. This is just like a continuance to...
Well, Your Honor, the alleged victim, Randy Kitt, did contact our office, and he doesn't want us to go forward with this charge. And as a matter of fact, because of the date when this occurred, the date that Mr. Burns was summoned in, and it's an N4, the time's run already anyway, so.
So outright dismissal?
Yes, Your Honor.
Case is dismissed. You're free to go, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Charles Michael, case number CRA 23312.
He's not here, he actually just stepped outside and grabbed food, he has a lot of health issues.
Okay, we'll recall later.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Timothy Bowman, case number CRA 23230.
Mr. DeWaters' case, preliminary hearing and pretrial.
Judge, this one I've talked to Mr. Hill about on a number of occasions. I've shared with him some information that I think is relevant in this case, and what it boils down to is I think the charge should be a misdemeanor rather than a felony. Mr. Hill's reviewed it. He wants me to speak to Mr. Anderson about the matter. And so what we talked about doing this morning was setting this out for maybe like August 7th or something like that. And then if Mr. Anderson decides it's a misdemeanor and it'll stay here, fine, we'll be back on August 7th. If not, there'll be a grand jury in the meantime and they can proceed there if they want to.
All right, defendant waives time and agrees to set the matter for preliminary hearing and pretrial on August 7th.
Thank you, Judge.
10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Jace or J.C. Turley, case number CRA 23354, CRB 23855, CRB 23353, and TRC 23714, A and B.
All right, so with respect to all these cases, Judge, we've managed to reach a resolution. And so I will try to recite for you what I believe the resolution to be. Jace has met with Megan with the QRT program this morning. He's already involved in treatment at Lawrence County Recovery, and he's doing well there. Megan has accepted him into the QRT program. So that would resolve case 23 CRA 354. I believe the state intends to dismiss that case to QRT. With respect to case 23 CRB 355, that one was charged as forgery. The states agreed to amend that charge to violation of 4507.30, which is basically possession of a fictitious driver's license. It's still a misdemeanor of the first degree, but it more accurately fits what happened in this situation. And based on that amendment, Mr. Turley intends to enter a guilty plea to that charge. With respect to the traffic offenses, it's alleged to have been a first offense OVI. We don't have the urine back yet, but I've talked to Mr. Turley about it, and in light of the state's willingness to treat the possession charge with QRT treatment, he's willing to enter a guilty plea to the traffic offenses today. So I think that's everything. That would resolve everything.
Mr. Hill.
That is what we spoke about, and we're in agreement with that. This is a first offense OVI. Requires a 3-day driving school. I don't know about, under the circumstances, it might be better if the felony case continued to pen while he goes through treatment. Just a thought. That way it might stay in place.
If he wants to avoid having to go to the dip school, I would let him do that. If he shows me he's going to be successful in treatment, then I would waive that, but that's going to be down the road, so.
Right. Okay. Is there any way we could I expect you're going to set the cases for a review anyway to see if Mr. Turley's complied with his requirements. Is there any way that we could resolve the cases today? When he comes back for his review hearing, he can present to you successful completion of Lawrence County Recovery, or in the alternative, completion of the dip school, one way or the other. I do have an update from Lawrence County Recovery, by the way. He is compliant. He's doing well in treatment so far, and I expect he's going to continue to do that. He really does not want to have a felony on his record at such a young age, especially.
Mr. Hill?
Well, the QRT team, I guess, is here about every time now. I guess we could get an update as to whether he's complied with the treatment.
Yeah.
If the court...
Well, it's going to be I think under the circumstances, I would put that as part of his probation on the OVI, so I can get a report on that.
Okay.
In any event. I mean, if he wants to, it seems duplicative to do both the driver intervention program and go to treatment. So,
right.
At times I've been allowing that to be waived, but I want to know that he's going to take it seriously.
Right.
Before I waive it.
Understood.
Okay. All right, so on 23-354, I'll allow that to be nollie to the QRT.
Just do it, nollie.
Just do it nollie. It means it's dismissed with right to refile. And then there's some other misdemeanor. He's got possession of marijuana, I think, and was there something else?
There is, it was charged as forgery in case 355.
Okay.
The anticipation in 23 CRB 355 is that the charge would be amended to allege a violation of 4507.30. That's still a misdemeanor of the first degree, but that is having a fictitious driver's license, which is what happened here.
Okay. All right, on case number 23-355 would be amended to 4507.30. And he's entering a guilty plea to that.
That's correct. The state's willing to dismiss the possession of marijuana charge.
Okay, that's 23-353, it has to be. Yeah, 23-353. Okay, then there's TRC 23-714, A and B.
It's Mr. Turley's intention to enter a guilty plea to both those charges, Judge.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
You have any statements you want to make?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept
Would
his
this be his first offense?
first offense. Okay, I'll set a $400 fine. Court costs, 6-month license suspension.
Started on 6/11.
Yeah, the day of the offense. Start then. 5 days of community service, 2 years of level 4 probation. Okay, we'll need to modify this. Take out where it said, where there, take that out. I'll redo that. Order to outpatient treatment at Lawrence County Recovery. Let's make it August the 4th. First Friday in August will be your first weekend. Okay, wait a minute, there's something else on there. After what you got. Dip school required unless successful completion. At Lawrence County Recovery. Okay, is he asking for driving privileges?
Yes, he is, Judge.
Does he have a problem?
He has insurance. He just got out of school. Are you in school still?
Yeah, I'm enrolled at ACTC.
just for court treatment.
Instead of doesn't, it should say unless he does finish. Okay, you can have driving privileges for school, work, community service, and treatment.
All right, thanks, Judge.
Easy to see, Mr. Major. And probation, and then he had turn signal violation of the $5 fine.
Thanks, Judge. I'll have him see Mr. Major before we leave.
All right, that's all.
All right, thank you.
Megan, you don't need it.
He's good.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Ryan Christian, case number CRA 23351 and TRC 23696A and B.
Okay, this is Mr. Waters, please.
Yes, Judge, and this case is very similar to the last one. Mr. Christian has also met with Megan. He is involved in treatment and has been accepted to QRT. So I believe that that will resolve the possession case. I think the state's intention is to dismiss 23-351 now that he's been assessed and accepted into the QRT program. That's also conditioned on him entering a guilty plea to the traffic offenses. This is another first offense OVI. It's a .088 breath score. Mr. Christian understands that part of this agreement involves him entering a guilty plea to that, and he's prepared to do that today.
Can you give me the traffic number on it, please?
23696.
It's a first offense also, Judge.
All right, Mr. Christian, do you have anything you want to say before extension?
No.
And you're still at recovery point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on the ODI, I'll impose a $400 fine, court costs, 6-month license suspension, that starts the day of the offense, 20 days in jail suspended, 5 days of community service, 2 years of level 4 probation. He's ordered to complete recovery point, and I may suspend the DIP school if you do that.
Judge, he actually he had a payer problem. He met with the provider this morning from, they're not here anymore. From RRG, who's agreed to take him. So he's going, his treatment from this point forward will wind up being through RRG. I think that's a different place.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Mr. Webb leave, or?
Yes. He was here, he's met with him today, he's accepted him, did a little mini assessment. He has to follow up with them as soon as you leave here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
As soon as he leaves here.
Is that going to be inpatient or outpatient?
It's doubtful. Mr. Christian doesn't have a history of substance abuse issues, and this appears to be a relatively isolated incident, but that'll be up to them, whatever they say.
Well, I'd like for him to do the urine screen before I finish his sentencing,
Okay.
based on what I read
Right
in
now.
the report.
I could try, yeah.
Okay. Well, he can do that.
Okay, let's go do it, and we'll come back.
State of Ohio versus Jessica L. Thomas, case number PRC 2362, A and B.
Judge, this was a first offense OVI that Ms. Thomas pled guilty to quite some time ago. Mr. Heald had been agreeable at the time. Her breath score was at 212, I think. And Mr. Heald was agreeable at the time to consider treating this as a low-level first offense OVI if she was compliant with treatment. We've been monitoring this. We were here on March 20th, April 24th, May 22nd, and now today she's been consistently compliant. I have another update dated June 23rd from Mahajan. Do you have that in your file?
I do not.
Okay, my approach.
The last one I've got is May 22nd.
Okay.
Is this my copy? or-
Yes, you can have that. Anyway, based on repeated positive records from Mahajan, we would propose we go ahead and proceed today to conclude the case and make a determination for probation and she continue the counseling through completion.
Mr. Heald.
Well, I haven't had a chance to read the report, but
Pretty short.
My approach, Judge, I think all.
Yes.
thank you. Did you say we'd come back again? I mean, it doesn't sound like it.
So how's the state going to proceed?
Mr. DeLauder indicated that he suggested that if the court went ahead and sentenced her based on her performance so far, then it could be part of her probation to follow through. the report does indicate progress, but I don't know if it indicates completion at this point.
It doesn't say that.
Would you like for me to find out, sir? On the caution.
Well, if it is completed, yeah, that's something I need to know. It doesn't say, the report doesn't say she's completed, it says she's doing 2 groups and 2 individuals weekly, and that she's compliant, basically is what it says.
Then she's not completed if she's still doing 2 groups.
Okay.
Judge, here, it's okay. She also works full-time while doing all this counseling. She works with mentally handicapped children or adults. We don't care to come back. I was just trying to avoid her having to miss work again, but if you want to see her again for a review hearing, I just asked her.
Well,
She said she'd
if I
be-
do sentence her, I'm going to order her at this point that she continue with the treatment.
Oh, I understand, absolutely, and she intends to.
Our goal, Your Honor, was to encourage this young lady to be serious in treatment. And she has, by all indications, done that. It's charged as a first offense high score. We have no objection to being treated as a first offense low score based upon her progress to this point, but we would ask for an enlarged suspended jail sentence, just to make sure that she understands that if she fails from here forward, that her probation could be violated, and she can go to jail for an extended period of time.
I understand, Judge. She has no objection to that either.
All right, anything you want to tell me, Ms. Thomas?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll divide the baby in half and give you a modified fine based on your work so far. I mean, on the face of it, you're facing mandatory jail and a $1,000 fine because your test score of 21 is up there. I mean, that's top 10% probably tests that I see. And it's under Ohio law, if you test 17 or higher, there's mandatory jail time. So we kind of modified that a little bit. We haven't really checked with the Ohio legislature to see if they're on board with it. They probably aren't. But my feeling is, I think Mr. Heel concurs with this, sending you to jail for 3 or 4 days is not going to do as much good as you going to treatment if you really put in the work and try to make a change in your lifestyle. That's what I want to see happen. Now, I know a lot of people would say, well, they're just trying to skate out of jail. Because jail's pretty terrible. It's not a place to go to. But it doesn't really, we know from studies, putting people in jail, although sometimes it gets their attention, I don't think it does anything for their addiction problems. So if you're serious, what I want to see is that you're serious about changing this, that you're not going to be back here in the future on another one of these or in another court or have this problem going forward, that you're addressing it, and then I'm fine with you not going to jail. But that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I don't plan on ever coming back here.
Or any other place, or,
Yeah.
it's not just here, it's, drinking to this extent has an impact on your family, on you, on your job. I don't know if you have children, but all that. And the new studies that have just come out within this year say, how much alcohol is safe?
9.
0. There's no amount of alcohol that you can drink that is actually safe for you. There was some thinking for a while, it may lower your cholesterol, moderate amount of alcohol is not really bad for you. The new studies are showing it's damaging to your DNA, it's damaging to your cells. There's really not an amount that you can consume that's safe. So, I hope that you will make some changes. And that's what I want to see, is that you're going to make some changes, that at least you're not going to be getting behind the wheel when you're impaired.
Yeah. No.
And putting yourself and everybody else at risk. Because you certainly were when you're driving with a 21 blood alcohol. That's very high. So, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a fine of $650. And I'm doing that. That sounds like a lot, but if you just came in here and pled with this Without going through the treatment you've done, it would have been at least $1,000. So I'm giving you a break there because of the work you've already done. You get a 6-month license suspension, so you're almost done with that. And that started the day of the incident, so you'll be able to get your license back. You gotta do it through the B&B though.
Okay.
They'll have some hoops they want you to jump through to get your license back. I'm gonna make it 40 days in jail, all suspended. Because you tell me, it shouldn't make any difference to you, tell me you're gonna do it regardless, right? But I've just upped the ante. So if you don't do it, now you've got 40 days in jail instead of 20 days in jail to look at. 5 days of community service. We have a community service program here. You can do it. You know, that's not my primary focus now, is for you to get in treatment, but at some point you gotta do 5 days community service, 2 years of probation. I'll suspend the dip school if you successfully complete your treatment. The dip school is a 3-day program. That costs you a lot of money, and compared to what you're getting, isn't going to do as much good. So I'll suspend that if you complete treatment. Complete outpatient treatment as a part of your sentence. I'll set your first review hearing August 7th, so fairly soon. You're going to come back and I'll still need to see reports as to what you're doing on your treatment. And she wants driving privileges, I assume.
Yes, sir.
She does have insurance. Okay, you can have driving privileges. Well, it's only going to be about another month.
Yeah.
There's driving privileges.
I already have driving privileges.
Okay, well,
to
those
work.
are temporary now.
Oh.
They can have part of this order, so.
Okay,
Are you working?
yeah.
For work, community service, treatment, what else? Child, or?
Court.
No, I don't-
Okay, August 7th, so review. She'll need to go meet with Mr. Major about her probation.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Will that be all?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
What about the fee then?
What was that?
It was Mark Horner.
$10 fine on line violation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Charles Michael, case number CRA 23312.
This is Mr. Scott's case.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so it sounds like he had a bad screen at first and the last one's been good.
Yes, sir. That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so that's progress.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Healy.
Sounds like progress, Your Honor.
So continue, you're going to keep it here, continue to monitor?
We would keep it here, and I don't, I guess maybe at some point QRT may have an interest in it, but for now, we are satisfied to keep it here and have him continue to be successful in treatment.
July 24th or 28th?
I will be in Virginia Beach, the Navy.
Oh, that's right, you're going on.
It'll probably be post August 10th, Your Honor.
Okay.
Which would give my client plenty of time to receive treatment and show that he's serious about this.
August the 11th?
Can we make it the 14th?
August 14th. Of course, you'll notify the court if these are problem
Yes,
for
sir.
you. Okay, August 14th will be the next hearing at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Ryan Christian, case number CRA 23351, PRC 23696, A and B.
Okay, good screen.
Give that to Jesse.
It's in your screen, Mr. Webb, so very good. Okay, so I'm on board with that, and what's the date we're going to come back?
Judge, it'd be for a review hearing, so whenever you
You want
want.
to go ahead and do the sentencing today?
Yeah, I think you were partway through the sentencing. You'd imposed $400 fine and court costs, a 6-month OL suspension, 5 days of community service, 2 years of probation, and continue treatment. And then we ran into this thing where he's going to this place I told you about.
Yeah.
So you wanted him drug screen.
Because the recovery point's inpatient.
Oh, okay. I don't expect this will be, but maybe it will be. It's whatever they say.
No, Mr. Webb told me outpatient, but I wanted to see what his his screens were. 23,696. Okay, on the OVI, $400 fine and cost, 20 days suspended, 5 days community service, RRG, if you successfully complete no dip school. So you're going to be outpatient, where are you going to be living?
In Chesapeake.
With?
My grandpa.
He's here?
Yeah, he's right here.
All right. We need him here Wednesday morning at 7:30. Where he can cut some grass.
Your Honor, I got in a bad injury. I got my right foot crushed by a barge. Broken 7 places, had 22 stitches. I was on bed rest for 3 months and on crutches for a year. I was going to say about the community service. I mean, I can try and do as much as I can, but
how old are you?
29.
You look pretty healthy to me.
Well, I've got doctor's papers on it.
He's still off work on the barges on workers' comp, but you do expect to be able to go back, don't you?
Actually, they're not sure. I just went to the doctor last Friday, and they just told me that they're done with physical therapy because.
Well, you can do some kind of community.
Yeah, I can do something. Yeah.
How, Judge? Can he'll show up and do his best at it. If he's got to do a lot of heavy labor, it might agitate his foot. But is it pretty well?
Nah, it's in the process.
You got pins in it?
No surgery done. Just broken a lot of places.
So you'll have to show up to the community service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can still.
He's going to show up?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to rethink everything.
He will be here.
To rethink everything I was going to do.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you need to change your attitude a little bit.
When would you like him back for a review?
I'm sorry?
When would you like him back for a review?
Let's make it a month. July 24th. Okay, so I expect you out here Wednesday morning, 7:30 on the west side of the building.
What about his?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, on the B case, I'll impose a $100 fine. Then the CRA 23-351 has gone to QRT.
Yes, sir.
Just Molly.
Yeah, it's Molly. Really, on these, I don't know that it makes that much sense to send him to QRT, because I'm going to make him go to treatment.
Yeah, as part of his probation anyway. Yeah.
Because they don't give me any reports.
Right.
So, I would like to have a report for what you're doing to monitor him. So since he's got the OBI, I'm going to monitor his treatment.
Right. All right, so he'll see you on Wednesday, and then
Mr. Major before he leaves.
he'll see Mr. Major, he'll see you on Wednesday, and then he'll be back for his review hearing.
What about the driving permit for him?
I thought we addressed that, but if we did not, he is requesting a driving occupational work, but he's not back to work yet, so we don't know when he'll go back to work, but for community service, court, treatment, those kind of things.
Okay, he did have proven financial responsibility. He can have it for community service, treatment, work, if he gets work, or seeks work. What else?
Just court, just to get to his court.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You need to see Mr. Major.
All right, thank you, sir.
State of Ohio versus Michael G. Robbins, case number TRC 22-1566, A and B.
Okay, successful completion, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, we had discussed that this case has been open for a long time. This was, I believe, originally charged as a third offense, but there was one of those that was in a court of non-record at the time. And what we had discussed was if Mr. Robbins does treatment, the state may be willing to recommend treating as a first offense. He originally did treatment through the VA, did an inpatient program, afterwards did some outpatient program for a period of time. There was a brief relapse, and then Mr. Robbins went back into inpatient and has done, I think now, another almost 90 days on that program as well. So I believe that the state's satisfied at this point. We may be able to go ahead and wrap this up.
What's the recommended sentence?
Your Honor, and we have been involved in this case for almost a year. Mr. Robbins has been in treatment and been successful at the VA. At the time that he pled guilty, which was on August 15th of last year, we did indicate to Mr. Robbins that we would look favorably on recommending something less than what might be required if he pled to the second in 10 years if he were to be successful in treatment. And having done that, we're able to make a recommendation to treat it as a first offense.
Suppose there's any objection to that?
No objection, Your Honor. When there are no contest, please stipulate to a guilty finding.
All right, Mr.
We've
Robbins,
already done
what do you
that,
wish to
yes.
say?
I've learned a lot over the past year. Being in treatment's definitely helped, so I'm trying to move past this and better my life from here on out.
What's the plan going forward? What are you going to be doing going forward?
After I get done with all court, I'm looking to get back in school, use my GI Bill, get back in school and pursue finding a new career. I used to work at the federal prison and trying to get back. Yeah, I worked at Summit for a while, and I worked at USP Big Sandy.
Okay. Are you taking advantage of any veteran services locally?
Yeah, I still see my therapist over at the VA, and I have to call her after this today, and I'm either going to try getting in the CWT program, or which is the compensated work therapy, or speak with the VRE, the voc rehab and education, about using Chapter 31. So.
Okay. Well, the person that I've been most involved with here, I think she's been involved in cases, Ms. Rayburn?
Yes.
Are you still involved with her?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I think it would be a good idea for you to continue some follow. They've got a lot of really good resources, so I hope you, in fact, I want to order that you continue with outpatient with them.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think that's a necessity, really, so. All right, I'm going to give you the minimum fine, $375.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Based on the work you've done, or you can pay the court costs. 6-month license suspension, and that started the day of your offense, so it's already over. You can get your license back from the B&B, you just have to do what they want you to do to get your license.
Yes, sir.
20 days suspended, 5 days community service. I'll not require you to go to the dip school. You've already completed treatment, so we don't need to wait to see if you're going to complete it. You've already completed a pretty thorough inpatient program, so I'm not going to require you to do the driver intervention program, which is a 3-day inpatient program. So
yes, sir.
That's not required. But I do want you to continue outpatient services at the DA.
Yes, Your Honor.
That'll be ordered. And I'll let Ms. Rayburn know. Okay, then your review hearing, I'll set for mid-August. Let's make it August 21st. He had a speed offense. I'll impose a $30 fine on that. He needs to see Mr. Major in the probation office.
What was the date of that review, Your Honor?
August 21st.
21st.
August 21st. All right, see you, Mr. Major. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So we're just taking the house? No, this is his house. But he's still basically happy. He's still waiting. So she left on the 7th of March and went off the 27th. They're terrible. Awful. They're all gray and black.
State of Ohio recalls Heather Hutchison. Case numbers TRD 08781 A, B, and C, and TRD 011366 A and B.
Ms. Hutchinson was ordered on 5/22 to be here on 6/2, and she was here that day.
Okay, this was a review. Looks like you were late then, all right?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I started my community service and then my vehicle had, it's been broke down. I just got it back Thursday, so how to get a new starter put on it.
All right, so you still have some more to do.
Yeah, I had 90 hours.
How about Wednesday and Thursday of this week?
We can't start Monday? Wait, no, wait, today's Monday.
Monday.
Tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow. I got my vehicle back now.
Well, I need you Wednesday and Thursday, not tomorrow.
Okay.
Can you do it Wednesday and Thursday?
Where?
Right here.
Yeah.
Come here.
I thought you all do it Monday through Saturday, though.
Well, we do, but we got the grass it's gonna be raining tomorrow, and I don't think you'll be able to cut any grass, help cutting grass, so.
No, but the guy at the school told me to ask to come back up there because he needs to.
I want you here.
Okay, so I can't go up there tomorrow either?
No, well, you can go up there tomorrow, but I want you here Wednesday and Thursday,
Okay.
because the grass is growing. You've cut a blade of grass before, haven't you? You know how to cut grass?
I mean, you just push a lawnmower, right?
Or a weed eater or something, that'll cut grass.
I can do it, I'm sure.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Good. I'll set your next hearing for July 28th,
At what time?
9 a.m.
Is that it? Thank you.
That's it. So I understand we've got a trial.
Well, we'll
Maybe
see.
not.
State of Ohio versus Somerville Poly, case number CRB 23161.
So, Your Honor, you want to approach for a second, Philip?
Well, I'd just like to have a few minutes of time.
Okay, we'll take a recess, let you guys talk about it, and then when you're ready to do something, let me know. The court will be in recess.
You did it? It's got something.